Hi everyone, this is the very last video of the entire school year, and this is going to conclude our lesson on Chapter 25, Organic Chemistry. So in this lesson we are going to learn about alkenes and alkynes. So earlier in the week we talked about saturated compounds and how saturated compounds are where we have single bonds between the carbon atoms. Now we're going to introduce unsaturated compounds. So an unsaturated compound, is basically where we have a double or a triple bond between the carbon atoms. So it has to be a double bond between carbon atoms or a triple bond between carbon atoms. So you have heard the term before, saturated fats or unsaturated fats. So this is how it's related to the organic chemistry part of it. All right, so we are going to talk about alkenes first. So an alkene is where we have a double bond between the carbon atoms, So then, since it ends in -ene here, then we change the ending, as you can see, to -ene if it contains a double bond, all right? So then we still use the same set of rules, find the longest carbon chain, But now you want to count the chain in the direction where the double or the triple bond will contain the lowest possible carbon, or the lowest numbered carbon. So that will take priority over a branch in terms of the lowest possible numbers. So if we look at this first example, there's only 2 carbons, So the prefix for 2 is eth, so it's ethene. All right, so notice what happens. I'm just going to sketch it out here. Notice what happens when we add in a double bond, Remember, carbon can only make a maximum of 4 bonds. So then you make sure each carbon has 4 bonds. So by adding in a double bond, that means that it decreases the number of hydrogens. Because carbon can only have 4 bonds coming off of it. And then, of course, if you add in a triple bond, then it decreases the number of hydrogens even more. So then this next one, we would count it in this direction so that the double bond comes off the lowest possible number. So this one has 3 carbons, so the prefix for 3 is prop. So it's propene, Propene. Now, alkynes are where we have triple bonds between the carbon atoms, all right? So I know these are drawn correctly on your notes, so the triple bonds are in between there. So same idea, count the carbons. So this one only has 2 carbons, so we use the prefix eth for 2, eth, and then since it contains a triple bond, we change the ending to -ine, so ethyne. Now, you might have heard of ethyne also be called acetylene. It's the same thing. This one is just a different set of, or a different style of naming rules, All right, then this next one here, 1, 2, 3, so 3 carbons long, and then ends in -ine because there's a triple bond. So this is just, once again, a summary of the rules on how to name your alkenes and your alkynes. All right, so if we take a look at this example right here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbons long, is the longest carbon chain there is, and this one will count it in this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the double bond here is coming off of carbon number 1. So then notice they put a 1 in front of the butene. But means 4, right? But means 4. Ene means that there is a double bond off of carbon number 1. Now, because this one contains a longer carbon chain, the double bond, what if they placed a double bond right in the middle there? So if they placed a double bond in the middle right there, then it comes off of carbon number 2, So that's why they put a 2 in the front, telling you that in this carbon chain of 4 carbons, the double bond is coming off of number 2. Okay? Then the last one contains a triple bond, okay, and it's coming off of carbon number 2. Even if you count it in the other direction because it's symmetrical, it will still come off of number 2, okay? So off of carbon 2 is a triple bond, so that's why we use the ending -ine, right? And then bute is because it's 4 carbons long, okay? So 2-butene. All right, so now we're going to have some examples here, and we're going to name these compounds. So go ahead and try these on your own. All right, so we first need to find the longest carbon chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons long, and we should count it in this direction so that the triple bond comes off of the lowest possible carbon. Okay, so then therefore you can see it's coming off of carbon number 2. Okay, so we're going to put a 2 in the front with the dash, and then it's 5 carbons long. So what is the prefix for 5 carbons? Pent, right? And then what is the ending for a triple bond? Ine. So it's 2-pentyne. All right, now let's take a look at this next one. This one has a branch with a double bond. So find the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So we looked at all of the possibilities, and 4 is the longest chain. Now we just have to figure out which direction to count it. We can count it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we count it that way, off of number 2 is the branch and the double bond. Okay, so that's a good possibility. Or if we count it the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then off of carbon number 2 would be the double bond, but off of carbon 3 would be the branch. So overall, we want the lowest possible numbers. So it's more correct, pen option, it's more correct to count it in that direction. Okay, so then we're going to name the branch first, which is coming off of carbon 2. So 2, and then the branch has only 1 carbon in it. So what's the prefix for 1 again? Meth. Okay, so this is methyl, so 2-methyl. Now we're going to name where the double bond is coming off of. So the double bond right here is coming off of carbon number 2. So then we put a 2 like that. 2, and then we have to name the chain, and the chain contains 4 carbons. So what is the prefix for 4? Bute. And then it has a double bond, so the ending for a double bond is -ene. Okay, so this ends up being 2-methyl 2-butene. All right, so that is everything you need to know for chapter 25. You need to know how to name and draw structures for alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. So single, double, and triple bonds, and then also understand the concept of isomers. All right, so that is everything, and I will see you later. Bye.